Hello crafty friends, I'm Lien from Studio Gato and I'm so glad you're joining me again today. Today's card is a fun and colorful birthday card using some stamps by My Favorite Things, but also some stamps by WOW Embossing. Now I want to stamp some images in a circle, so I'm drawing a guideline using a circle die. I'm just tracing the inside of the die because that's the size I wanted, but you can trace the outside of the die. Anything you have that's circular will work. Now I'm using this gorgeous stamp by WOW. This is designed by Natasha Davies, who is amazing. You should totally go follow her on Instagram and YouTube. I will leave her links down below. And I love this stamp set. It's so fun for backgrounds, and I wanted to make a wreath out of this. Well, just a circle of little paint swatches. And when I saw the finished result, I realized you can totally stamp a flower with these swatches or these paint spots. It would be really fun. I think this already looks a little bit like a flower, but it could be a really fun design as well. Now I'm stamping most of these twice to get a nice even coat of ink. I'm using Pinkfresh Studio inks, and these do even out while they dry. So they might be a little splotchy at first and they will dry more evenly, but these are really large surfaces of these stamps. So you might get a little touch of white somewhere, and I always stamp those twice. I'm sticking to yellows, oranges, and pinks. I will list all the inks I used down in the description below, and I'm alternating between two stamps of this stamp set, and I'm also alternating the direction of this stamp. That and overlapping the colors makes it look a little bit more organic and a lot more playful as well. Now you could fill up that spot in the middle too, but I'm not worrying about it because my image will most likely cover it. I am die cutting this out with a Wonky stitched rectangle by My Favorite Things. I love the stitched detail on there, and I set it a little offset. I really like my images to be offset on my card and going off the edge of my card. It just brings a lot of movement to the design. I die cut that off screen, and then it's time to stamp my little penguin from My Favorite Things. I'm stamping him in Memento Tuxedo black ink with my Misti, double stamping it to get a nice clean and black impression. This stamp is from the Sending Sweet Celebration Wishes stamp set, and I'm coloring it in with my alcohol markers. Yesterday, I made a video for Jane's Doodles coloring a snowman, and I colored the snowman's head blue, but a really deep saturated blue, and I loved it so much that I repeated that combination for the penguin. Now it looks a lot more blue on camera than it does in real life. It's a lot more muted in real life, actually. So I colored it in first with a bluish gray, but a really dark gray. That's my darkest shade. I am covering that completely with my darkest blue that I have, and then I am moving on to my lightest shade of blue, which is a really muted blue, and I love it. I'm coloring his beak and his little feet in orange, and I will repeat that orange in the hat, the dots on the hat, and the pom-pom on top of the hat. And for the hat itself, the party hat, and the little banner he's holding, I'm using some pinks. And I love that these colors will be repeated in my background. That's why I made the background first, so I could base my coloring off of that. For adding some shading to the white, there I'm using some cream colors, and I am blending those out with a colorless blender because I thought they were a little bit too dark. I'm stamping one of the sentiments that comes in this My Favorite Things stamp set in Versafine Onyx black ink right onto my panel there. I didn't want to add a banner to this card. I usually love sentiment strips, but sometimes you just need to stamp it straight onto your card. And I am clear embossing this with a clear gloss superfine embossing powder, also by WOW. I can heat set that off screen, and then it's time to put my card together. This is a really simple card, but it's so bright and colorful. I love, love, love it. To prop this panel up onto my card base, I'm using a piece of cardboard. This is quite sturdy and it's cheaper than foam probably. I just use packaging boxes that I cut up. And it's a lot lighter than stacking a bunch of pieces of paper together. So this will mail better, I think, or cheaper at least, because it weighs a lot less. So this is my preferred method of propping large panels up. I'm putting some foam tape behind the penguin, and that will also prop him up nicely. To finish it up, I'm using some sequins by Studio Katia. They're not called sequins, I always mess this up. This is the Majestic Confetti by Studio Katia. And this comes in 3 different sizes, which is perfect for card designs, I think. You really want some different sizes in your embellishments to make them look a little bit more organic when they are put onto your card. I use some Barely Art Precision Craft glue to glue them on because these are light. If you have heavier embellishments, I recommend Nuvo Deluxe adhesive because that's a lot stronger. But in the meantime, I have also folded my envelope with the We Are Memory Keepers 123 punch board. To add a little something to this envelope, I am stamping this penguin in Versamark ink so I can white heat emboss him. And I love that white embossing on top of that pale pink cardstock. So I just sprinkle that on, and then I heat set that off screen as well. And that will finish my project. It's a really fun birthday card. I love these critters by Stacy Yakula. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but she's one of my favorite designers. And her images are always so adorable. I also really like how that blue penguin turned out. He's not too blue, he's just perfect, I think. And that cream coloring on the white for shading really warms up that blue, so it's not too cold of a colored image. I've had this stamp set by WOW for a little bit now, and I'm so happy to have finally used it. It's such a fun one, and I can't wait to play around with it a little bit more. I hope you like it too. If you did, make sure to leave a thumbs up on this video and leave your thoughts in the comments below. I would love to read them and chat with you guys. Of course, you can also subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of my videos, but if you don't want to wait for more content, you can also check out all of my playlists and you'll surely find some more videos to watch. Thank you so much for tuning in today and watching me make a card, and I hope I will see you next time.